Now, I would like to call upon a very special speaker. My first ever person, apart from the people who introduced me, I met in MILT. Unfortunately, I didn't do the MLC then, but we have always been good friends. Every movement like MILT needs young blood to progress. My next speaker is the fire starter who has trained several of the firebrands in this very room and is carrying forward Aporesh's incredible legacy. He himself is a stellar Miltonian with several national awards to his name, including the MILT Sales Championship Award, MILT Reinforcement Program, and many more. During the challenging COVID times, he started the PPW to keep the MILT spirit alive. He is married to a fellow Miltonian, Elizabeth, and blessed with another Miltonian, his son Noel, who is here with us today, and a beautiful daughter, Rachel, who's an HR professional. Let us now welcome him in MILT style with thundering applause, our MILT accredited trainer, Daniel Jacob!
It's a wonderful day. Well, thanks, Arani, for that rollicking start and for the introduction. And today I stand over here to give a talk on Breakfree. The reason is we have been trained. We have got so much of inputs, and there can be no better forum than MILT. There can be no better person than Aporesh Acharya for us to break free, because this convention is break free. Now, when we are talking about break free, it's only an effect. We are talking about the effect, but what is the cause? Because we are all bound, we are all chained, we are all captive, and we need to break free of all our conditionings, all our ritualistic beliefs, and then we experience truth, break free. So here we shouldn't be talking about break free. We should talk about what is that is holding us back. What is the captivity that we are in? We need to understand that. And for that we need to understand what causes our belief systems, what causes our conditioning. For instance, there is no tiger conference saying break free tigers. There is no crow conference saying break free. But human beings alone need to have break free. The reason is every other creature is born to the nature, lives within the two lines, and dies to the nature. But we human beings alone are born, we die, there is no line at all. So we need to use this life so that we can live our human potential. For instance, every other species have got instinct, but we people have intelligence. Now, when we talk about intelligence, it's just not intelligence per se. Intelligence has got 4 components. Now, one of the components is we have a strong sense of identity. The moment we have an identity and hold on to it, our intellect, which is another component of our intelligence, will only strengthen your identity. For instance, you identify yourself with a nationality, and your intellect will do everything to strengthen that identity only. Your intellect will not work beyond that. If you identified yourself with a religion, your intellect will only strengthen that religion. If you're identified with your language, your intellect will do everything to strengthen that identity only. So therefore, our identities is what causing us that captivity. And we are so convinced with our identity. And we need to break that identity. We need to ensure that we can identify something bigger and beyond, and probably go beyond the identity which Guna spoke about, from somebody to nobody. So the moment I take on the role as a trainer and carry that role even outside, I'm somebody when I'm really nobody. So therefore, we need to understand a very important aspect of life is be aware of your identities. I see in the WhatsApp groups, people sending messages, and I can bet if the message from this Miltonian comes, it is going to be this ideology only. because he's doing everything to strengthen that identity using his intellect, which will only collect information to strengthen that identity. So what do? We have got another component of our intelligence, which is called consciousness. Now, consciousness is absolute inclusiveness. For instance, we need to be proud of our nation. We sang the national anthem. But our nation should not be the boundary of our love. Our nation should be the center of our love. Our nation can be great, but other nations need not be less. Because we are born here, we identified ourselves here, and we work on it. But love the nation. Let it be the center of your love and not the boundary of your love. We have a religion. And if at all you have that consciousness, you will know religion is a process which helps you to relegere, which means to unite. So the purpose of religion is to help us to unite and not to condition us. Well, friends, I'm giving a big talk here, but I tell you, I've got the right to talk over here on this topic. The reason is, I come from an Orthodox Christian family. Now, here it is very clear, going to church, coming back was the order of the day, and I did it for 40 plus years. Till the time it was working within me, what the bloody hell am I doing over here? And then it opened up. One of the biggest breakthrough moments for me was Aporesh Acharya's Sunday morning classes. And that opened me up to every other process. And today, friends, I don't go to church. Well, I've got all the respects. Because today when a message comes in WhatsApp and if Danny gives a counter, he's a Christian, that's why he's countering. But you guys do not know, I'm gone beyond the identity of Christian. For instance, Christmas, I should have been in my church. But I was not in church. I went to Satsanga Yogada by Paramamsa Yogananda. I went there. And for the first time, I saw a non-Christian talking about Christ. I loved it. Every new year in all my life, that 11:55 to 12:05, I'm in prayer. I'm in church. But for the past 10 years, I've never been there. The reason is I saw conditioning happening. And I got out of it. But today, my 10-minute of prayer is always there. Even if I'm here, I will be there in my room for that 10 minutes, just that transition. So here what I'm trying to say is that we need to break free. Our mentor Aporesh Acharya was a break free man. I've experienced him totally. From 1988 to whatever time, but for the 10 years I was reviewing the program. And I was trained by him. And when he makes a calendar of 4 weeks or 7 weeks of program, in between Diwali is coming, he says, no, it will happen. On a Diwali day, there will be a class. When he's making a calendar, if there's a Christmas, the sessions are there. So therefore, break free. For instance, I've got this long hair, and there are lots of discussion on my hair. I like that, okay. People say, cut your hair, bring your scissors, I'll cut it. Or some people say, you look handsome. So much of discussion on my hair, I'm happy about that. Abhay Mishra and Sobti, you don't have to worry about that. Okay. Right? Now, why did I grow this hair? It happened. COVID times, 4 months. I said, let me leave it. Today, my church is against it. I'm a rebel. And I can have a haircut, but they don't see the rebel in me. But when I got a long hair, they say something is wrong with this guy. Because we need to be clean shaven and haircut. And this is growing. So therefore, what I'm trying to tell you, my dear friends, small things. Let's be aware. Let's be aware and let's make MILT happen. Because MILT should not be just this break free should not be a cliche, but break free should be within each one of us. As a master of ceremony very beautifully said, that break free should be experienced and not talked about. So therefore, can we identify all the identities that we carry? Can we broaden that identity? And then we will certainly break free, because our intellect will become under our control and we can live a life that is of consciousness. And the life that is of consciousness is a life well lived. So we have got this wonderful life, a very short life. Let's live a conscious life. Let's live an inclusive life. And if we Miltonians don't, then who else will? Come on, let's take up this challenge of break free. Thank you.